The fear of failure will paralyze your potential. It will keep you from becoming all God intends for you to be. It will limit your purpose in life. The fear of failure is deathly. It will kill your dreams if you let them. It will rob your happiness. It will prevent your success. Remember, no failure is final unless I give up. No failure is final unless I give up. Now, failure is not fatal. It's not going to kill you. It's not terminal. It's not deadly. Failure is not fatal, and failure is not final unless you choose to go, okay, I'm giving up. I'm not even going to try. And that's your fault. The fact is, the fear of failure is far worse in your life than failure. Failure is not a big deal. But the fear of failure is a really big deal. It's worse than failure. You fearing failure is worse than actually failing. Why? Because failure is a one-time shot, but fear of failure just goes on and on and on. It haunts you for hours and days and weeks and months and even years. The fear of failure can haunt you your entire life. Failure is short-term. Fear of failure is long-term. And when you have the fear of failure, then you don't even try, which makes you a failure. So you might as well go ahead and do it. Did you follow the logic of that? Okay? If you fear it, you're not even going to try, which means you're going to fail.
I'm here to tell you that the fear of failure is the engine that has driven me throughout my entire life. It flies in the faces of all these sports psychologists who say you have to let go of your fears to be successful, and that negative thoughts will diminish performance.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable. And I should know. Fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today's the beginning of the rest of your life, and it's going to be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there. You only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally.
I think the big thing is don't be afraid to fail. I think, in our society today, Instagram, Twitter, it's a highlight reel. It's all the good things. And then when you look at it, you think like, wow, when you have a rough day, your life's not as good as that, you're failing. And I don't think, failure's part of life. That's a part of building character and growing. Like, without failure, who would you be? I wouldn't be up here if I hadn't fallen thousands of times, made mistakes. We all are human. We all have weaknesses.
The good thing is, through failure, you get all the fucking answers.
You get all the lessons.
All of them.
Yes.
They're all there.
Yes.
So I was able to go back through and say, okay, this happened, this was wrong, this was wrong, this is wrong. So I don't even look at failure like, I don't even call it failure. Yeah. I don't, because I don't look at it like, oh my God, I failed. No, I look at, okay, like trying to invent the fucking light bulb. I'm afraid to know what's failure. I'm trying to invent a fucking light bulb.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break 4,020 pull-ups. Mm-hmm. That's failure?
Yeah.
Anything you do along that way is amazing.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta look at failure.
Yeah.
Fear of failure. So obviously, fear of failure can keep you from taking risk. And it can leave you just sitting there paralyzed into not taking any action at all. And obviously, that's bad. But I don't actually want you to overcome the fear of failure. I want you to be afraid of failure. Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night, planning and rehearsing and going over contingencies. Fear of failure will keep you training hard. It'll stop you from cutting corners. Fear of failure will keep you working and thinking and striving and relentlessly trying to be more prepared for battle. So I want you to be afraid of failing. I fear failure. But more important, I want you to be horrified. I want you to be terrified of sitting on your ass and doing nothing. That is what I want you to be afraid of waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years or 60 years and being no closer to your goal. You've made no progress. That is the horror. That is the nightmare. That is what you need to be truly afraid of. Being stagnant. So, get up and go. Take the risk, take the gamble, take the first step, take action. And don't let another day slip by.
Most of us live our entire lives avoiding failure. It's funny. I walk around, people come up to me and they say, man, you're that Navy SEAL, you went through Ranger School, you were, Air Force TAC P, you did the pull-up record, you run all these ultra races, all this shit, man. The funny thing about it that I think about is this. They know that part of me. This is the part I know about myself. I failed the ASVAB test to get in the military 3 times. In the Air Force, failed at pararescue. In the SEALs, it took me 3 times to get through Navy SEAL training. The pull-up record took me 3 times. This is what I know about me. So what I'm saying is this. You can't live your life being afraid to fail. All those failures make me the success in the day. Stay hard. Stay in the fight.
So if you have no fear whatsoever, no fear. Well, guess what? You get cocky, you can get arrogant. If you have too much fear, you can't even get out of the gate. You just freeze. You hesitate. So, like all dichotomies, you got to balance those two. And the way you balance those two is to try and do things that make you feel fear, right? Try and do things that make you feel fear. So that way you get used to it. You can overcome it, you can deal with it, you can utilize it. And if you have a fighter, you ever hear UFC fighters that are like, I'm afraid every time I get in the ring, right?
Pretty much everybody.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. I'm afraid, because you're afraid you're going to get knocked out, you're afraid this, you're afraid that, afraid you're going to lose in front of all my family and friends and all that. So everyone's afraid. So what does that fear do? It drives you to train harder. It drives you to prepare. It drives you to keep your hands up and your chin down when you're in the cage.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a healthy level of fear. It can also get the best of you. So keep it balanced. Fear is something good that you should take advantage of. So it's kind of good to be afraid because it keeps you on edge. It keeps you from slacking. It keeps you preparing as much as you possibly can, and all that stuff is good. But at the same time, yes, if you go too far to the other end of the spectrum, fear gets a hold of you and you can't overcome it. So you freeze or you cower or you run away, and none of those are good reactions.
The number one thing that gets in the way of doing great things is fear of failure. Fear prevents us from doing the things that we want to do, that we know that we should do, but we're afraid of failing.
Face the fear. What do? You step. You go into it. So there you go. There's your answer.
Cool.